Want to be a topper in MBA entrance exams? Join BYJU'S Exam Prep, CAT and MBA YouTube channel and watch serial 99 percentiles teaching you the tips and tricks.
Hi guys, a very good afternoon to all of you. Guys, with MH-CET just around the corner, we are going to conduct sessions to help you understand, give you more information about the exam. We are conducting sessions with respect to training you on terms of the exams and also giving you information about the colleges. So this is one session where you're going to get information about the colleges that accept MAH-CET and how are these colleges, what are the good colleges, what are the ones that you should apply to depending upon your expectation in terms of the percentile. So once again, a very good afternoon to all of you and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. Well, so as I mentioned, this is a session where I'm going to take you through the top colleges that are in my mind. I haven't really given a ranking, but yes, you can you can frame your own ranking. I have put them across in a list. I would not say exactly in decreasing order of ranking, but yes, somewhat like that. But yeah, please don't say that if some X college is coming after Y, I'm saying that Y is ranked below X. That's not what I mean. I'm saying that yes, this is a general trend. The ranking can be one or two, or the order could be one or two here and there. That's fine. You don't really have to worry about that. But any of these good colleges are worth considering if you are seriously a contender for MAH-CET colleges. So let's go ahead and take a look at what are these colleges and how do we and why do I pick them, or why do I call them as good colleges? So let's start. So first thing, what is a top college? The first question you need to ask yourself and understand before we go ahead is, how do we define something called as a top college? Is it about the placements? Yes, of course, placements are important because you're talking about students paying lakhs of rupees. So you are expected to have a good amount of money in terms of placements, of course, right? And this is going to be your, most probably for many of you, this is going to be your last degree in life. Some of you might go for higher education after another higher education, or rather not higher education, let me put it this way, probably a doctorate sometimes. Some of you might go, some of you might do an executive MBA once again after 10-15 years, but at least for the next 10 years, for the next decade, this is going to be a last degree. So you have to be very careful about where this degree or diploma is going to come to you from. So placements are important for a college. Faculty is also important. Of course, you need to be learning very well. The topic has to be taught to you from some of the people who have been in the industry, not just people who have learnt it, but who have also practiced it. So you need to have a healthy mix of trainers or faculty who are theoretically very sound as well as have practical experience. Infrastructure, of course, you are spending 2 years of your life there. MBA is about a lot about learning things not just from your faculty. It's about learning things from your peers, learning things from books, learning things from the online resources. So you need to have a good infrastructure. At the end of the day, I always believe that a healthy mind is only possible if you have resources with you as well as physical fitness. So you need to have infrastructure in terms of activities also, not just on the academic side, on the extracurriculars also. So you need to have a good infrastructure. Of course, the college has to be well known in the industry because the placements are happening just because they are known in the industry. Otherwise, why would anybody go to a college which is not known or is just established? You don't know exactly what kind of students are going there. So if I'm an HR of a company, I know that, okay, college X has been there for a long time. I have been associated with the college, and there is a college Y which is just coming up. If I have limited amount of time, whom will I choose? I would probably go with X itself unless I know that Y is churning out good people, right? So yes, and of course, one of the things that good colleges have is a list of good alumni. Okay, so these are, of course, no doubt important. However, to make your life easier, I'll give you one parameter. I'm not saying these are not important. These are definitely important. But if there is one parameter which you can use to bypass all of them, that is one parameter, that there is one parameter which can give you a single answer which will encompass all of them, then that parameter happens to be a percentile. So just look at the percentile at which a college is giving admission. Okay, now the logic is quite simple. A college which accepts students at a very, very low percentile basically means it is opening the doors to anyone. The logic is that the reason could be that there are not many students who anyway want to go there. So just look at the market trend. If all the students, all the toppers wants to go to a particular college, the percentile will be very, very high there. Obviously, if all the toppers are going there, they will definitely perform better over a period of time. They will make name for the college and for themselves. They will be good alumni. They will make sure that the good talent in terms of faculty would love to teach the students there. So this one thing called as the percentile at which you get an entry to a college, in my opinion, is a single factor which will take care of all of these things that I've mentioned. So let's take a look at what are the top colleges and what is some information that I have put together about these colleges. Okay. So the first institute, without doubt, the number one in my list for MH-CET happens to be JBIMS. It is established in 1965, quite old that way. It's been in existence for a long, long time. Very, very illustrious alumni base is what they have. The percentile is, as I mentioned, you can just take a look at it, 99.9 percentile. You need to be in the top 130, 140 students to get into this kind of a college. It's one of the top colleges in the entire country, not just in Maharashtra. Okay, so yes, the percentile is quite high. Now that is also a reflection of the kind of packages that students demand and command. So you can see that the average placements are in the range of about 26-27 lakhs. Of course, the top talent goes there, so the top companies go there, and they offer some of the best packages there. So as I mentioned, this happens to be always a proxy to all other information that you should look at in a college, but always keep track of the percentile. The fees is not that high. If you look at the fees versus the cost versus the placement, you will see the fees is actually less than 1/4 of your placements that you can get. So it's a 6 lakh fee approximately, and they take only about 120 students. It's a very, very small batch size compared to the IIMs. Many of the IIMs have about 350, 400, 450. In fact, my alma mater, IIM Indore, has about 620 or 630 students, including the IPM students who will be graduating. So that's a huge batch of about 600 plus, whereas here it's a very, very small batch size compared to many of the IIMs, which is about 120 over here. Okay. The next good college, this is obviously number one in my list. The next college, now I'm not saying this is clearly number one, guys, there's no doubt about it. Now second rank, third rank, it's all debatable. Others, I'm not putting a ranking to them. They are in for sure, students will be happy to get into them in this order. Probably the second in my list could be the third rank, or third in my list can be the second rank, so don't really worry about it. But definitely JBIMS is number one, there's no doubt about it. Okay. Next in my list is Somaiya Institute of Management Studies and Research. Again, a very well established college, quite old, again 1981. It's a college which has been in existence for more than 30 years now. The percentile requirement is above 99.4. In fact, it's again a proxy which tells me that it's a good college, because the toppers would apply to this college, and getting into the college is not easy. Right, so you can see the average placements are about 11 lakhs and the fee is about 19 lakhs. So there is a problem here with respect to the fee and average placements. But yes, it is a good college. There's no doubt about it. And the intake is actually a bit high. So that, if you notice, 600 students average are getting 11 lakhs. This is, if you look at only this is deceiving. But if you look at the batch size, you'll understand what happens when there is a huge batch size. Compare this to, let's say, a JBIMS. So if you look at the top 120 students, the same batch size as a JBIMS, I'm pretty sure the top 120 students here would not get an average of less than about 18 to 20 lakhs. There's no doubt about it. The problem comes in when the batch size goes to about 600. So the last 200 of them, last 150 of them will start getting very, very low packages. Because you are not working hard enough out of the 600, so you will drag down the average for the entire batch. But that's a fact. But if you want to compare apples to apples, not the other way around, then please make sure that you're looking at similar batch sizes, or at least look at the placement report and see what are the top 150 placements or 120 placements like, or even if you want to compare with the IIMs, look at the top 300, 350 placements. You will get a better idea, but this is not a really believable figure, because when you're trying to compare, this is fact, it's a fact, that's not a problem. What I'm trying to explain is, if you want to look at the top 150 or top 200 or top 300, definitely it is not so low. So you might be wondering, why am I paying 19 lakhs and getting only this? The problem is, this 19 lakhs is for everyone, whereas this 11 lakhs, if you look at the top 200, will be very, very high. Top 300 will still be high. But yeah, if you add all 600 of them, the average will definitely come down. Okay? Right. The next one is Sydenham, again a very good institute. The requirement will be around 99.8 percentile. Again, this varies from year to year, because they have round 1, round 2, so they might have multiple rounds. So this is basically in that range. When I say 99.8, please don't say previously I put 99.4, here it is 99.8, does it mean this is better? Not exactly. I'm not saying this is better or that is better. That's the range. We are looking at 99.5 approximately for both the colleges. That's the range you're looking at. So average placements are about 12 lakhs plus, and the fee, now Sydenham is actually a government institute, government of Maharashtra. So you can see it's a very, very nominal amount. It's 51,000 only. And the problem is the intake is only 60. Very, very small batch size. It's half the batch size of JBIMS. But again, the fees is so small that you will probably, you can pay the entire fees on your own, including the expenses of living there if you're from outside Maharashtra or outside Mumbai for that matter. Including your living expenses, it will not cost you much. So this 12 lakhs again looks decent when you're looking at comparing it with the kind of intake you're looking at. Okay. The next thing is DMS, University of Pune. It's also called as PUMBA. Established in 1971, the percentile requirement will be about 99 percentile. Again, a top-notch college, you have to be in the top 1% of the students who are writing the exam. The average placements are about 6.5 lakhs and the fee is about 1.3 lakhs. The intake is again about 120. Now, here the ratio of the fee that you're paying versus the kind of average placements you're getting, well, that's pretty decent. Okay, I've got 1 lakh fee. Ninad Barde, please look at it. This is actually picked up from the website itself. I'm not sure where you got your information from, but I've picked it up from their official website. Okay, right, let's move on. University of PUMBA, as I mentioned, this 6.5 lakhs is the average placements based on the placement report that I've picked up, and the fee is about 1.3 lakhs. Okay. The next thing we are going to talk about is SIES College of Management Studies, Mumbai. Again, this is in fact of the top colleges that I'm talking about. This is the college which has been established the earliest, 1932, even before we got independence. So it's a college with a lot of heritage to it. It's something which I think it's earlier than any of the IIMs that I know of, for sure. But yes, the percentile requirement is a little bit less compared to the other 3-4 colleges that we have just spoken to. It's about 98.5 percentile. The average placements are about 8 lakhs. The batch size is about 120 and the fees is about 9 lakhs. So you can see here the comparison of the fee and the college. So what happens is, students who get a 98 or a 98.5 percentile, they kind of look at what is the fee that I'm going to get and what is the kind of placement that I can expect. So there are a lot of colleges which are in this range of 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs, 9 lakhs and giving a package of about 8 to 9. So they have options. We're going to look at that. There are options about 4 or 5 colleges where this happens. So yes, the students who are in that 98 percentile to 99 percentile range basically are spread across these 4 or 5 colleges. So there's a group of about 4 or 5 colleges that I have put in where the fee is in this range and the placements are in this range. All of them, in my opinion, form a cluster. I will not say something is better than the other, but yes, they form a cluster. So then the decision for you, how will you decide if there are 4 or 5 colleges like this? There are 2-3 things that you need to look at when you want to decide, guys. Firstly, if the placements are similar, the fee is only about 1 lakh or 50,000 difference or 1.5 lakh also for that matter, how will you decide then which college is better? Then my advice to you would be, look at the infrastructure, Look at which of them have a better campus. Look at the students intake. See, 60 is too small a number compared to, let's say, 200 or 250, but most of the colleges here we are talking about have about 120 only. So look at a batch which has a decent size. So don't go to a college which is probably about 50 or 60 or 70. I'm not saying it's bad. If you have an option of everything else being equal, let's say campus is also same, there is a 60 batch size versus a 120 batch size, where should you go? I would recommend go to a slightly higher batch size of a 120 or a 200. The reason being, an MBA, as I already mentioned, it's learning from your faculty, learning from your friends, that are your peers, batchmates, and of course learning from the books and online resources. So if you want to have a very good MBA experience from various places, you have to have that many people from different places. If my batch itself is 60, how can I have diversity where people come from different places and different domains? So that logic, basically, if you want to choose something when everything else is equal, look at a batch which is probably in the range of 120 and above. Okay, so that's the way to decide. Let us say you're looking at two batches which are same 120, then and the fees and everything else is same, but the campus is different. So take a look at where the campus is situated, how good is the campus. So then in such a case, you are not worried about who are the faculty members or what kind of placements, because they're kind of similar. So then the issue becomes a bit more trivial. It becomes a little bit more not so serious things that you need to worry about. But yes, they are still decision points. So keep these things in mind. Don't worry too much about, okay, there's a star faculty here or a faculty who's very well known. Here, I don't know too many faculty members. Trust me, my friends, when I say this, all these colleges have been there for decades. Okay, some of them go back to 1960s and 1970s. They have established themselves. Just because you did not hear about certain faculty members does not mean that the college is not good enough. So don't worry about knowing faculty or what they have done. My recommendation is follow these things which are more important, because trust me, the faculty will spend only 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes with you in the class, but you need good batchmates who will help you or learn from each other. So that becomes, in my opinion, a bit more of a requirement than looking at who are the faculty members who are going to train me. Okay, or teach me. So that's one thing. The next thing is XIMR, Xavier's Institute of Management and Research. In fact, this is off the list of the colleges. I believe this is the college which is the youngest, 2006. But still, even the youngest college is about 15, 16 years or 17 years old. So it's not that young anymore. But yes, of the lot, this is the youngest that I have. The percentile requirement is about 98 plus percentile requirement. The average placements are about 6 lakhs. The fee is just under that, 5.2 lakhs, and the intake once again is a small batch size of 61. Again, it's a question of what percentile do you get. At a 99 percentile, you have probably a bit more better options than XIMR. But if you're falling short by, let's say, 98 or just touching 98, this could be an excellent college for you. It all depends on the kind of percentile you're going to hit in your MAH-CET, right? So well, that's your XIMR, Xavier Institute of Management and Research, one of the youngest colleges in the list that I have. Again, please don't worry that it's a young college. I said younger. Does not saying it's a new college. It's been there for the last 17 years. So it has made a brand for itself. So yes, if you are in that percentile range, don't worry. It is a good college to get into. Only thing is, yeah, it's a very, very small batch size. So I have a concern with any of these institutes which have typically a 60 batch size, because well, when I graduated from my engineering or from my MBA, we always had a batch size of 200 plus. There is a lot of interaction that happens. You get to meet people from different walks of the life. I'm talking about domain in terms of where they worked as well as the place in the country. You get to experience people from the eastern part of the country, northern part of the country, central part of the country. Each one has a different way of thinking. And remember, you're going to become a manager in the future. So you will be having a team which may not be from a single place. So you need to understand how each person is. Guys, India is a very diverse country. Each one of us from a different state. In a state also, there are different regions. We behave in a different way. So it's a very good exposure if you have a bigger batch size. Okay. I've got a question from Mamta. She's asking, Should we drop the idea of doing MBA if we are unable to score good percentile after 2 attempts? Mamta, I would not say drop the idea. Okay, that's a good question. 2 attempts is not something great, Mamta. Typically, the first attempt will be given when you are in the final year, which means the second attempt is given when you are working and got a 1-year experience. So 2 attempts is too low for you to worry about. Typically, I'm talking about work experience in terms of in requirement of the colleges till you reach 4 years of work ex. Keep your idea of MBA going. You can write up to you till you get 4 years plus of work experience. Now, what happens after that, I'll tell you in a minute. The reason in this, you don't have to worry whether you have written once, twice or thrice. Now, Mamta, the question you need to ask yourself is, what led you to get a low percentile? What caused you to get a low percentile? Please reach out to a mentor if you have somebody who's been training you, somebody who's been seeing your progress. Seriously sit with the person and understand where are you lacking. In my opinion, my friends, these are not exams that require stellar intelligence. These are not an IIT JEE kind of an exam where you have to be in the top few thousand ranks to get into the IITs. These are exams where you need to have presence of mind, a little bit of knowledge, yes, but most importantly, strategy to crack the exam. Now, these are things which I believe can be trained to a student, and everybody, every one of you listening over here are equal in terms of the opportunity, in terms of having an opportunity to get into these colleges. But yes, those who put in the effort and most importantly realize where they're falling short will get in. There are a lot of people that I know who put in a lot of effort, but they never realize where they're going wrong. It's like playing the wrong shot in cricket again and again without understanding why is it wrong. So if you don't spend time in understanding what, where and why are you going wrong, you will not succeed. So yes, I would say if you have got twice low percentile, first ask the question, where did I go wrong? First look at, is it maths, is it LRDI, is it English? Then get into what in English did I fail in? Is my RC bad? Is my vocab bad? Or in DI and LR, am I not able to solve puzzles? Am I bad at calculations of graphs, graph-based data? Or do I not understand the concepts of, let's say, an arithmetic, percentages or algebra, which is quadratic equations kind of questions? Or do I not understand figures, which is geometry? Get and then dissect that. That's the way to go forward for you, Mamta. Okay? By the way, guys, I did not put Wellinger in this. It is a decent institute in Mumbai, definitely in the top for me. But Wellinger for this year is not taking MAH-CET. I don't know exactly the reason, but I believe it's because MAH-CET has been delayed. So I think they were accepting Atma and CET for that matter. Sorry, CMAT for that matter, and of course CAT and ZAT. But yes, Wellinger this year is not accepting MAH-CET because MAH-CET has been delayed quite a bit. Okay, let's move on. XIMR, then we have the next college is CIMR, which is Chetna's Institute of Management and Research. Again, in Mumbai, if you notice, many of these colleges are in Mumbai. Guys, one of the important things to keep in mind, and this is something I've learned and experienced firsthand, a college which is above average, just above average in a Mumbai is probably comparable to an IIM which is not located in a central part or not located in a well-known city. Trust me when I say this, the IIMs, till they become big, people in many of these locations which like Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore would not want to unnecessarily travel to a place when they have many options in their own place. Typically, the way an HR thinks is, look, I have to go for recruitment. Now, I have a JBIMS, I have a CIMR, I have a Chetna, I have a what do you call XIMR, I have a KJSIMR. I have multiple options in Bombay itself. I need only 10 people. Why do I want to go to, let's say, an IIM Trichy? I have to take a flight, I have to go there, spend 2 days there, do the process, then come back. It's a headache. If I am in Bombay, and I have so many colleges in Bombay, let me visit them. I will definitely get 10 equal people. Because these colleges, at least if I pick the toppers, my job is done. Why should I look at a college which is not nearby to me? So one of the biggest advantage of these colleges in Mumbai or any of these top metro cities is that you have companies headquartered there, or at least you have companies with some establishment there. You don't have an HR, or you don't need an HR specially coming to your college only to recruit you. That's usually not how it is. In fact, I've seen some of the companies going to these colleges but not coming to some of the IIMs for the sake of convenience. Especially if you're thinking of getting into startups. Many of these startups would probably, unless they have a huge budget, they would want to go to colleges which are nearby, take good guys from there and continue their job. Some of the startups would definitely go to the IIMs, but again, depending upon the level of the startup you're talking about. But yes, there are a lot of fresh opportunities in these kind of colleges in the top-notch, at least the top cities for sure. Yes, Ninad, Wellinger accepted it last year. That's exactly what I'm saying. This year it is not accepting, probably because MAH-CET is delayed, so they didn't want to delay their batch. Obviously, right? If I have to accept MAH-CET, how can I start my MBA program with students coming in from other exams when MAH-CET is not even done? So if I'm Wellinger, I have CAT already results are out. I will take some students from there. ZAT already results are out. I have CMAT results are out, and then I have to put all of them waiting. They're selected, but I have to keep them waiting because MAH-CET is not yet out. If I announce that I will take MAH-CET, then I cannot start the batch. I can't start my classes. That could be a reason. I don't know whether they're going to do it next year also or not, but as of this year, they are not taking. Okay, but yes, this is established in 1996. Percentile requirement is about 97 plus. The fee is about 8 lakhs and the average placements are about 5.5 lakhs. Now the intake, they have 3 different programs. PGDM, the main flagship program, they have about 180, probably the higher batch size, going towards optimal batch size in my opinion. I would not say this is high. 180 is quite optimal. In fact, I would say 250 or a 260 could be an optimal batch size for these kind of colleges. But yes, they have 180 here, 60 from PGDM marketing and 30 from retail. So if you add them up, you will have something around 270, which is a very good batch size. So CIMR is a good college that you can get into at a percentile of about 97. The next is Indira Institute, which is in Pune. Indira Institute of Management, Pune, established in 1994. Percentile requirement is about 97. So you have some colleges in Pune too, Bombay and Pune. It's about 3 hours difference, 3 hours drive from Bombay. So yes, it's not a bad place to be in, and the weather is awesome. Trust me, I've been in Pune for some time. I've been in quite a few parts of the country, but the 2 best places as far as weather is concerned, one is Bangalore, where I am currently right now, and the other place is Pune. Awesome places. Anyway, so you have a percentile of about 97 plus. Average placements are about 4 to 5 lakhs. The exact number is not clearly known, whereas the fee is about less than 2.5 lakhs. The intake here is about 300. This is what I liked about the institute. I would say this is the optimal, the best possible thing in terms of number of students. But again, it's also a function of what percentile you get. So among the colleges which are in that 97 percentile range, if you have an option of Indira Institute versus others, I would probably recommend colleges which are about 200 plus up to 300, 320, because that's a very good batch size for you to be a part of. Okay. Okay, let's move on. The next is Durgadevi Saraf Institute of Management, again in Mumbai. Again, the advantage of being in Mumbai I already mentioned. Established in 1948, probably this is the second oldest in the list of colleges that I have. Percentile is quite low. Requirement here is about 94 percentile, but again, as I said, the percentile at which students get in is basically a proxy to the quality of the college. I'm not saying it is bad, but yeah, the average placements are a bit lackluster. It's about 3.5 lakhs. You're talking about a fee of 2.3 lakhs and the intake is about 120. Okay, so that's about the college over here. The next college is DY Patil, again Pimpri Chinchwad, which is again in Pune, established in 2002. The percentile is again low, it's about 90 percentile, and the average placements are between 3 to 4 lakhs. The fee is about 2 lakhs. The intake I think is about 120 here. Again, I missed this putting the value over here, but I have to check the number. I think it's about 120 itself, because most of these colleges are approved by AICTE and they give a batch limit. So they have about 120 students is what I believe, but I'll check once again. But yes, it's a college for those of you who would be falling or expecting in that 90-92 percentile range. If you're in Mumbai or any part of Maharashtra, you would be happy to be a part of this college in Pimpri, which is in Pune. It's a good college, well known, and that way I would say this is something that you can get into consider. Okay, so that brings me to the end of the list, guys. I have put the top, I would not say ranking wise, but yes, the cluster of the 10 to 12 colleges that I can think of. Some of you were asking certain college names. I did not put them simply because in terms of the research that I did, they did not make it in terms of the average placements or the intake or the fee. So I was looking at a balance between the fees and the average placements that the students have. So if I missed out on college, obviously guys, there are hundreds of colleges that I can talk about, but I have only put in my opinion, what happens to be the top 12 colleges or 10 colleges over here. In that, some of them did not make the cut, unfortunately. But yes, if depending upon, see, if you notice, none of these colleges are below 80 percentile, below 90 percentile, if you notice. So that is another cutoff I have looked at in terms of percentile, because for me, percentile is quite a good figure. So I basically had to put a cutoff till where will I take, which college will I take. So I thought that I'll put only those colleges which are above 90 percentile in terms of their cutoff requirement. So that's the list that I've got. I hope you got some information about it. And if I did not mention any of the colleges, it means it is not there in that 90 percentile and above list. Like COEP and other couple of colleges that you guys are asking, if it is not here, it means the requirement. I'm not saying it's a bad college. I'm only saying that their requirement goes below 90 percentile, which is the reason why I did not put it over here. Right, so with that, my friends, I have come to the end of the session where I'll be coming back to you with a lot more MAH-CET sessions and on practice. So please keep please be subscribed onto our channel and click on the notification button so that you will get to know what are the sessions that have been planned for you. Thank you, my friends, and see you in the next one.